How's it going, everybody? Brad here today, and we are back with your Kansas City Royals, ready to get started in the second half of the season here at the All-Star break. And things are, they're going well, right? But for the type of team that we are, we need to be playing a lot better. I mean, we're the number one ranked team with second in contact, fifth in power, second in pitching, top 10 defense, and then 25th in speed. So maybe we do need some speed when we get closer to the trade deadline. But, really what it seems to be is the Twins just have a much better ERA. And honestly, that's what it comes down to right now is the ERA of the team. If we take a look at the statistics, team rankings, right? Our batting average is up there. I mean, the runs scored, we're in 6th. But if then we go back to the opposite side of things and go to defense, taking a look at runs allowed, we're sitting here at 18th, right? That's just too many runs allowed. Our run differential's got to be much better than that. The offense, I'd like to see it click a little bit better, but I don't really know that there's much I can do here to improve this. I think maybe having a guy like Casas here instead of Luis Arraez maybe at the third. I mean, I know the contact's great. The clutch is 99 as well, so if somebody's on and in scoring position, it's going to be really good. But against righties here, I mean, maybe Casas goes up to 3. Nolan Gomer goes up to 5, and then Arraez at 6. I think I'm going to give this a try. Colt Keith over Tyler O'Neill because he's slightly better against righties. I'm going to take a little bit more control of the lineup now, too. And then against lefties here, Casas, probably flip-flop Gorman and Casas. Arraez can probably still, Bobby Witt does not need to lead off. Bobby Witt can bat third because he's 82. I mean, he's really good. I know he's fast. But, hey, we got Luis Arraez here who's got great vision. I mean, he's got really good clutch. So if any of these guys at the bottom get on, okay. I did not anticipate doing this, but screw it. I'm just going to do it. We're going to get a bit more in the weeds of the lineup decisions because we need to. Tristan Casas has got 82 power. I'm not going to flip-flop him with anybody. Lefty, yeah, that should be fine. I think we're good there. But the big one is the pitching rotation. And obviously the starters, Zach Gallen's pitching well. McKenzie's not great. Paddock's not great. Rogers is bad. And Herman's actually good, right? Herman is up to an 85 now. He's grown tremendously well. But I think Trevor Rogers' time is done. He's got another year left at $8 million. He's dropping off in both potential and current ability. And I'd like to see him do a little bit better. And then the bullpen, guys, has just been woeful. Sandlin at a 7.47 is terrible. Mattin's 4.46. Scott Barlow is at 7.63. I mean, nobody's really pitching well besides Leclerc and Jojo Ramirez. I did decide to move Mariano Diaz into the setup man role and Sandlin back into the middle reliever. I just can't have him blowing games like he has been. 6 blown saves and only 2 actual saves. As a setup man, I mean, Jojo Romero is doing very well in the closer role. But I think Sandlin, I want to keep a hold of him. He's got 3.2 for another year. He's only 30. He is an 84. But Scott Barlow and Trevor Rogers, I think, need to go, and we're going to find a way to get something done there. I have a trade lined up for Trevor Rogers already, so we're going to go to the Dodgers, and we're going to throw Trevor Rogers on the trade there. And then relief pitchers, they've got Tajay Anthony, who he's pitched all right. He does pitch a good amount of innings and actually has succeeded with more innings pitched. His WAR is fine. His ERC this season isn't great, but they were willing to give him up, and they're also looking to get rid of this left fielder, this 19-year-old left fielder. He's got C potential, I know, but 77. He's got the potential to be a quality rotation option. He's actually playing for them and will weaken another team in the league, I think, by giving them Rogers and getting a reliever and an outfielder from them who's actually playing. There's James Outman here, but obviously we're not going to get him. I might look to get a better prospect from the Dodgers. I don't know if they have many because there's a bunch of C's. But I'm just thinking, like, if he's 1977 C, he's probably got a ton of trade value. Would we rather go after Jose probably De Paula from New York? I mean, he's really well rounded. He's decent. He's probably got less value, and we might be able to get somebody else on top of him. Like a Gavin Stone as a starting pitcher. Is Gavin Stone is pitching for them? He is, and he's not looking great. He's only pitched 86 innings, though. He's only started 4 games, but he's got 8 decisions, so he's definitely in the bullpen for them. There's Andy Pages here too. Let's see if I take him off and put like Miguel Vargas on there. They're more interested in that deal because he's 27. That is That is actually wild. If we put Jose De Paula on there, oh, it's budgetary constraints too. The Dodgers are right up against it with the budget. So let's go ahead and just take that 19-year-old. I mean, it's like he's basically another Lyle Cortez. These young guys in their early 20s that are in their high 70s that don't have much more potential to grow. If either of them do grow into a B potential, then all of a sudden they're a star. But for now, this is the trade we're going to make, and then I'll make a trade for Barlow. We are going to need a starting pitcher. I know we do have Daniel Lynch and then Asa Lacy down here. Julio Villalobos, I mean, he's hot. I don't want to touch his development. Asa Lacy's actually dropping off. He's pitching in Double-A, and he's doing terribly. So maybe we want to move on from Asa Lacy and Scott Barlow and see if we can get another starting pitcher. For now, though, Trevor Rogers is on his way to the Dodgers for Tajay Anthony and Dominic Franco. And there we go. We are going to clear up a little bit of budget as well on top of that 2.26 budget now. All right, another trade that we're going to make is Scott Barlow and Asa Lacy are going to go to the Giants for Jackson Merrill. I thought Jackson Merrill, like this trade, just makes a lot of sense. He's 81, 23, a potential center fielder. See if we can unlock the most out of him, right? We've got Harrison Alonso, Riley Green, Tyler O'Neill, Tommy Edman, and this would just be another amazing player to add to our outfield. Alonso and Merrill aren't going to be everyday players, but I think they could be the future. And then that allows us to dish Kyle Isbell and maybe something else for a potential starting pitcher. So I was looking for a starting pitcher in this deal. Oh wow, there's extra that they can send our way here. Okay, maybe I'm glad I didn't just take their offer. Maybe they have a starting pitcher that I would want. Oh boy. There's Eric Lauer here, the lefty, 28 innings pitched. Yeah, I mean, not a great ERA, not a lot of innings pitched though. I don't think I want, oh God, any of their pitchers. I mean, I'd take Logan Webb, but I don't think they're going to give him to me. So there's Javier Assad. Listen, their starting pitching is really, really poor. So I can see why they would want a guy like Asa Lacy and why they'd be willing to give up a guy like Jackson Merrill. They've got Jung-Hoo Lee at center field, Oswaldo Cabrera, and Prince Hutchinson. Prince Hutchinson, actually, super great name, and he's actually a good looking player for the future. And then they got Anthony Santander there and right. So I mean, they do have quite a few outfielders, and they've got Virgil Rosado. Like they've got options here. So I feel like this is probably one of the most realistic trades I've done. Although Jackson Merrill is pretty highly valued, but they probably are just desperate for starting pitchers. And Asa Lacy, well, we'll see. He's in Double-A right now. Let's hope he gets a better shot there in San Francisco. I do want to grab a potential player. Joaquin Edney here is an option, but he's only got C potential. I wonder if we go up. Can we find somebody? Virgil Rosado, 28 potential left fielder. That's solid to me, and I will just give them whatever they want. Yeah, Sean. Oh, okay. What about Evan Taylor? They're definitely interested in making this deal. Yeah, so you guys can have Evan Taylor. We'll take Virgil Rosado off your hands. Thank you very much, San Francisco. Now let's go ahead and find ourselves a starting pitcher. And when you're looking for a starting pitcher, what better team to go shopping at than the Tampa Bay Rays? I mean, they've just got so many pitchers here, guys. They got to, move on from somebody. And Ryan Pepio here, the right-hander, he's only started 6 games, but has pitched in 21. His ERA is great, and I think, he's probably ready to move into the starting rotation for somebody. Clearly it's not the Rays, because they already have McClanahan and Bieber, Singer, Hicks, and Painter. They do have our old boy Brady Singer here. He's still doing what Brady Singer does. Pepio looks great. I tried to get Andrew Painter. It's just, it would take too much. I think they wanted Mariano Diaz. I know it's a closing pitcher here, but he's 79, 22, A potential. He looks like he's going to be dominant. Yes, he's having a down year. And we already have a ton of starting pitching prospects, right? We've got Julio Villalobos, Ben Caderna, James Dunham. Down here, we've got Kevin Garcia, Leonard Enright, Stephen Darth, Saul Farrell, Larry McClement, Monty McCure, Carlos Rosado. Like, we have so many potential players coming up that getting a guy in his early 20s, I guess it would be fine, but for now, it could be something we revisit in the offseason. It's not a midseason trade to me. But giving up Kyle Isbell, who's been replaced by Jackson Merrill, that's a straight upgrade there. And we also have just now a ton of center field prospects. Kemp and Schroer, they're both decent potential players. They're growing, and it's all good. listen, for us to get Ryan Pepiot right now helps out the roster with all the transition we've been doing. It also helps out the budget a ton, I guess. It's mostly Kyle Isbell, but either way, we'll also get first base prospect in here. Donnie Montenegro here. You can see our first base in this org here. It's not the greatest. We do have some potential, but they're all in their late 20s except for Ray Enriquez. So Donnie Montenegro will come in and, just provide more depth for the organization. And I feel like this is a fine trade. They want center fielders. You can clearly see that they don't really have many that are going to be promising, right? Brennan Davis, that's a nothing burger. Jose Siri and Alec Thomas, are there guys, but they really don't have anybody in the system besides Mikey Gilly. We're now going to give them Kyle Isbell, who can help them out right now because they definitely need another outfielder. You're right, their left field is not great, so Isbell could even play there or shift one of these guys to left. And then now they'll have a couple prospects to develop as well as Mikey Gilly here. So I'm happy with this trade. Ryan Pepiot, hopefully he steps in and continues to play like he has. Guys, this has actually been a lot of revamping. So let's go take a look at the roster now that we've made all of these trades. We'll start with the pitching rotation. We got Gallen and McKenzie still, Paddock as well. So those are our three guys we got in free agency. We got Bobby Herman, and now Ryan Pepiot slots into the starting rotation. Daniel Lynch still takes up his position as the long reliever. Jose Leclerc was actually shifted to the middle reliever role. I don't know how I feel about that for him. He's been pitching well, so I think I want to flip-flop him with Tajay Anthony. None of them have great stamina, right? But they're middle relievers and setup men. They're only supposed to go an inning or two anyway. But Sandlin is going to move back into the middle reliever role. He's not doing so well in the late innings. And if he screws up in the 6th inning, it's a lot better than if he screws up in the 8th inning because we have more time to recover from that. Mariano Diaz then is going to slide down to the setup man with Jose Leclerc. And then obviously Jojo Romero stays where he is. Hopefully this little shift, the ERA now looks a lot better across the board in our entire pitching staff. Hopefully they actually pitch like that going forward. And then now here you can see against right-handed pitchers, we got Bobby Witt leading off with Riley Green at number 2. We actually didn't want that. We want, against power against righties. Yeah, 3 and 4. That I'm very happy with that. Luis Ariz at 5. I know he's like the best contact guy and great vision, great clutch, but I feel like him at 5 is not the end of the world. He just doesn't have that pop. Colt Keith then, followed by Tyler O'Neill. Jackson Merrill actually slots in instead of Edmund or Harrison Alonso. Harrison Alonso is hot and growing, so maybe not something I want to do. But he's definitely a better fielder for sure. He's like a more well-rounded version of, he's a better batting version of, I should say, he's the combination of Alonso and Edmund now that I look at it, right? He fields better than Alonso, not quite as good of a hitter, and he hits better than Edmund, definitely not as good of a fielder, but all in all, I think to have another left-handed bat is great for the outfield. We do have a lot of left-handed bats, it's looking like, so that's pretty interesting to see there. And now against lefties, I wanted Bobby Witt there. Luis Ariz starting up top, followed by Riley Green, because he's got his 91 contact. He just doesn't have much power. Then we've got Bobby Witt batting third because he can just rake against lefties. Tristan Casas then flip-flop him with Nolan Gorman. Colt Keith, Tommy Edmond comes back in against lefties. Tyler O'Neill then followed by Freddie Furman as the catcher. So I'm hoping that these changes definitely help us out. Our pitching is back to first. Our power's gone up to 4th, but the defense has slightly taken a hit. Our fielding percentage has not really been an issue, but speed still stays at the bottom. Let's go ahead. We have to now sign some of our draft picks, see what they are. And there's a lot happening, and we just started. I haven't even passed a single day yet. And against Baltimore, we're gonna lose 2-5. So that's great. Let's go ahead and sign some of our players. Get to the end of the month. I'll let you guys know how we do against the Twins here, because so far we split the series with them there. We have another series, at home this time, and then just a 2-game series on the road. So let's get to the All-Star game here. View the organization's games. We'll play the game. That's fine. Jazz Chisholm goes to the Diamondbacks from the Cardinals. That's weird to say. That looks like a really good assortment of prospects, as long as they have like decent potential. To sign Jazz Chisholm in the summer and then trade him, things must have gone terribly wrong for St. Louis. We're just going to go ahead and just play the full game. Let's just see our All-Stars. Who did we send to the All-Star game? Luis Garcia looks like he's going to be the starter. Casey Mize, Tariq Skubal. So, I was going to say the Tigers looking good, but no, Tariq Skubal is now in Boston, Logan Gilbert, Corbin Burns, Craig Reed. Yeah, we don't have any pitchers, do we? Wow, this is the first time I think we haven't sent a pitcher to the All-Star game. A bit of a bummer. I mean, but it kind of goes hand in hand with how the season has gone. Nolan Jones, yeah, it's not a good season for anybody individually for us. Look at, there's Alex Verdugo. He's just raking in Oakland. I assume they're still in Oakland. Yeah, he's having a much, yeah, this is the best version of Alex Verdugo, of course. Although he is probably playing more days. We have a weird mix of lefty versus righty, kind of who's good, who's not. But anyway, Freddie Furman does make it to the All-Star game and represents your Kansas City Royals, along with Bobby Witt. As we know, Bobby Witt is just there all the time. But it's cool to see who besides Bobby Witt went to the All-Star game. That's always fun. So let's go ahead and just get the simulation rolling. Hopefully sign some of our prospects. We shouldn't have a problem with that, guys. I'll let you know as we get them. And there we go. Our first round pick, Richie Schaefer, is going to accept the contract. As you can see, we now have him 90% scouted. He's looking very nice still. Hopefully it is within the range, and hopefully it's on the high end of both. And we're going to get our second round draft pick, Domingo Merced, as well. The starting pitcher here looks to have great potential. A little bit lower on the overall, but again, 18-year-old. If he's even close to the low 60s, he's going to look like a stud. We do get our third round pick as well. John Calvert, the starting pitcher, the lefty. Again, a guy that looks really, really solid for right now. Maybe doesn't have the lofty potential of some of our other players, but again, we kind of need to go back to getting guys higher in overall because our team's getting expensive. So if he's closer to the 73, I'm going to be pretty pumped. Charles Oka, our fifth round pick, is going to sign with us. Again, he's the guy that I just took a swing on. He doesn't look too exciting, but hey, you never know. Our other second round pick, Miguel Gomez, is going to sign. You can see that his potential and overall, they're just all right. But again, just a solid fielder. Even if he's like a Lyle Cortez, he could help us save some money in the future. I know we've got a lot of young star potential players. You know, at this point, I'm looking for current ability more so than potential ability. We're going to get our other first round pick, 31st overall, Roger Clark, is going to sign. We have him ranked 5th, and you guys can see why. That's 78 to 95 potential. If it's close to that and the overall's close to that 70, we're going to have an absolute superstar on our hands. Fourth round pick, Daryl Tracy, is going to sign his contract offer. I gave him a bunch. He was interested in it, and it just took him forever to accept it, but he was a 5th round pick. We have him ranked as 54th in the class. His overall looks good. His potential looks good. I'm excited to find out what he actually is because he could be an absolute steal. And I threw the rest of our budget at Adrian Ramirez, our 6th round pick here. Didn't really care at this point. His potential looks amazing. Overall looks great. Would love to see him, again, on the upper side of that. This could be a loaded draft class. I know, again, every time I'm in the draft, I don't feel good about it. And then I come out and sign these players, and I'm like, actually, now that I'm taking a little bit of moment to breathe, everybody looks better than I thought they did. And they're all young, too, is the big thing, right? No Steven Darth, 23-year-old, but tremendous potential. Sneak peek, things aren't going well. We're 4-6 in our last 10. We really need to improve. And now here it is, guys. We are ready to view the draft class. How is this draft class of 2027 going to impact the future of the Kansas City Royals? Not much at all. Really not going to touch the draft. Oh my God. I mean, Roger Clark does look very good. I will give him that. 87 potential, 62 overall at just 18 years old. Like, that is really good. But Richie Schaefer, the third baseman, 61, pretty average at best. Miguel Gomez, the right fielder, same thing here. We had 70 to 85 scouted potential. So that it's right smack dab in the middle, basically, a little bit on the lower side, but I'm not too upset by it. Same thing with Domingo Merced. Adrian Ramirez down here, 53-88. I'm glad I threw the bag at him because 88 potential. We had a lot of players and a lot of starting pitchers. Holy cow. And a lot of trade bait here. John Calvert is 66 with that 80 potential. 69, Daryl Tracy with 80 potential. So another guy that could impact right away. Okay. And Charles Oka 65 with 77. So we got a lot of current ability, not a lot of potential ability. Not the best draft class I've ever seen, but hey, it is what it is. We can't have, like, last year was all light blue. This year, it's still solid, right? We've got low 80s, mid to upper 70s, a couple guys in the upper 80s, no 90s. It's understandable. I didn't feel that great about this draft class, and clearly, I was right for once to actually be disappointed. So I was optimistic trying to be on the higher end of the scouted potential here, but it just wasn't meant to be. So And, things are going a little bit better towards the end of the month. We're now 8 games back of the Twins. They're crazy. 71 wins is the best in baseball. I don't know how. I mean, they are the 5th best team. Their slugging is fantastic, and their ERA is fantastic. They are just going yard, and their pitching is actually dealing like it should be. And I believe our ERA has improved. Let's take a look here. Leonard Enright had a tough month. I'm not a name I'm used to. McNair, no. Tucker Bradley, meh. And Beckway, okay. So guys are hot except for Tristan McKenzie. Riley Green is leading probably in batting average. Chris Paddock is cold. Oh, man. Ryan Pepio is cold. That's not what you want to see. His ERA is increasing. That's not what you like to see either. ERC still fine, so we'll see. It's probably just a little bit of time here. But it's good to see a lot of players developing nicely. And then in the bullpen, how is Tajay Anthony? I believe his ERA was like a 4.4 when we got him. It's now a 4.02. You like to see that. Sandlin, oh my God, dude. Nick Sandlin. I might send him down because 7.91 is woeful. 2.02 whip. Can I put him in the long reliever slot so that he just doesn't pitch an inning? Like, good Lord. It's just a terrible, terrible season for a guy like Nick Sandlin, who previously has been lights out. Like 3 seasons of lights out relief pitching. Negative WAR now. That's not what you want to see. And then Jose Leclerc is injured. Mariano Diaz not pitching much better there either. So, I don't know, man. What do we do? What do we do? Nick Sandlin why is he back? Oh my God. Why is he back in the setup role? I literally wanted to take him out of the setup role. I'm going to turn that off. I'm not going to, I guess maybe I need to let the batting is hot, so I'm just going to let them do what they need to do. I do have it set to auto still, and I don't want to worry about rotating guys. It might auto rotate. I'm not sure, but for now, August, it didn't end up well. We split with Minnesota twice and then lost those 2 games to them. That was a huge chance to pull games back behind them. And now we don't have a head-to-head opportunity to pull games back. So we're still 13 games above 500, but we need to start doing much better here in August. All right, so now we're at the September call-ups. We went 15-11, I believe, or 16-11. I believe we were 5 games above 500 here in the month of August, which isn't bad, but we're not doing anything to catch the Twins with 83 wins. And we do need to worry about the wild card, right? We are 5 games back of the Twins, and to pick up 5 games in a month is not great. The team ERA continues to improve, which is really nice to see. One thing I have noticed, though, is just take a look. Oh, God, at the IL, Mike Massey, Rocaforte, and Bradley. Okay, that's okay. But if we take a look at the statistics and we go to team rankings, our offense is fine. It's not blowing anybody out of the water, but it's our pitching. We're just giving up far too many home runs. Let's see. Where is it? Home runs allowed. Is that home runs allowed? There it is. We're 29th. We've only allowed 23 fewer than the Rockies. I mean, Gallen's allowed 23. Paddock's allowed 24. McKenzie's allowed 26. That's just not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable. And Tristan McKenzie's now our ace, by the way. 66, 71, 54, 61. I mean, none of our pitchers, I guess, are really great at preventing home runs. You look at the bullpen, too. Same story there. The only guy is Nick Sandlin, whose ERA, by the way, has improved dramatically. The bullpen looks okay. It's looking decent. And then the starting rotation, the ERA is actually... Well, McKenzie's isn't looking great. Man, he's just not been great, has he? Compare it, like, geez, why did they all of a sudden come to my team and then just not do well? Don't know what that's about, but anyway, Zach Gallen bounced back in his 2nd season so far, and everybody else is pitching all right. So the team is all right. I mean, that's the phrase I'd use. For the first ranked team with 2nd in contact, 3rd in power, 1st in pitching, 11th in defense, and 26th in speed, I guess speed kills. That is the one consistent with every division winner there. I guess not the Dodgers, though, but the Dodgers are just crazy. Their pitching's 2nd. Yeah, I don't know. They're just getting wins. We're not getting wins. 613 runs allowed is just too much. It's just too many. And, you look at the wild card, it's all right. We're right there with the Orioles. The Blue Jays, aren't scoring as many runs, but aren't allowing as many. I really don't know what to say about this team. We are, 8 games clear of the Red Sox for the wild card, so the playoffs are probably in play for us. without much concern here in September. But we do want to be cautious about that because I don't want to just see us completely limp into the playoffs. Lyle Cortez is hot and could be somebody to call up. Nick Prado for the first base. Nelson Velasquez, he's got power. Dominic Franco, who we traded for, is an option. Ben Caderna, Julio Villalobos. Max Clark's in AA, but he's got speed and fielding if we wanted to improve those. You know what? Yeah, maybe I'll think a little bit more tactically about this. Maybe I want to get somebody for the bullpen that can just prevent home runs. That doesn't exist in our organization. That's cool. None of our starting pitchers prevent home runs, which is really concerning. But Caderna, I think I'd like to go with Julio Villalobos. I think that's where I want to go. There's also James Dunham here, but his Ks per 9, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Julio Villalobos. We're going to add him to the 40-man roster, and then we're going to call him up to the MLB. And there we go. There's one of our two. And then next, we got to look for a player to call up for a fielder, because you guys know I like to do one of each. Oh God. I guess we could look just solely for speed to see if maybe a pinch runner to call up that can actually contribute to, although we don't seem to have many players that I'd consider like on the fringe that are speedy. There's Tucker Bradley at 72 speed. Max Clark is 74 speed. And then Lyle Cortez is 62 speed. He's a good fielder and he's a good bat against lefties. Velasquez has power off the bench, but right now, guys, I'd honestly... Call me crazy, but I'm thinking about just calling up somebody that can do something we're weak at, which is like defense and speed. So if we needed to go in that direction, we could. The arm here for Lyle Cortez is great. He's hitting really, really well there in AAA. Where do we want to go here, though? I mean, Nelson Velasquez is not it. Dominic Franco is not it with the speed component. Max Clark, 74 speed. He's got 44 stealing, though, so he'd just be basically somebody to bring in for the... these guys are like the same player, Gavin Cross and Max Clark. Carson Rocaforte. Do we have anybody good at stealing? Jordan Adams from center field. It's just... the speed and everything. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe we just call up the best player that we have, the best fielder that's available to us, and that's Lyle Cortez. He's hot. We'll move him to the MLB. He's seen the MLB before. He's been here. He's a good fielder. He's got adequate speed, right? That's the thing that I'm noticing is that we have bad speed, but everybody's in the 60s. Like the entire team's in the 60s, not just not just a player or two. Like the whole team's like 44 to 62 is like the range that I'm so used to seeing. And I feel like that's fine. We got a couple guys that are faster. Obviously, Bobby Witt is quick as lightning. Maybe we find just a pure leadoff guy, move on from Arise. I don't know. We haven't even gotten to the playoffs yet. Let's get through September and beat the White Sox, which we couldn't do last season. Oh, good. We play the Oakland A's at the end of the season. Cincinnati, who's 63, has 63 wins. Pittsburgh's about 500. Cleveland's sub 500. Baltimore is a good team. San Francisco's is a bad team. And Detroit's... Guys, this is a month where we should just catch fire. We should be electric in this month. We absolutely need to be if we're going to even come close to Minnesota. We have a chance to enter the game. I'm going to let Bobby Witt do his thing. And we 9-2 win. Let's go. I'm glad I didn't jump in. Bobby Witt did his thing. Sandlin gets the win. You love to see it. How did he pitch? View the box score. Sandlin, how did you do? How many runs did you give up? He gave up 1 earned run in 2 innings, so not doing much for the ERA. But when it's only the second run of the game, Tristan McKenzie pitched very, very well as well. Gallen versus Webb. We get the win there. Gallen takes the dub. Wow, Gallen might be the Cy Young winner, straight up. Like 17-7, 274 ERA, and 164 strikeouts is crazy. Paddock versus Lauer. Oh my God, 13-14 loss. They came on 6-7. There's the bullpen. There's the bullpen doing bullpen things for us. Julio Villalobos came in, 4 earned runs allowed. Tajay Anthony then allowed an additional 3. Oh my God, Julio Villalobos. Yeah, it's not great. Bobby Herman versus Wilmer Flores. Can Jojo Romero shut him down? He can. Well, actually, don't think he did. No, he blew it. He blew the save. We came back and scored 3 in the 10th. Oh my God, it is a blown save, right? Yeah, Jojo Romero gets his 8th blown save. Why are we using so many pitchers? Holy crap. Ryan Pepio versus Casey Mize. We have 27 on their, oh no, injured list. It's Tristan Casas fractured his shin, and he's out for 2 to 3 months. Oh my God. And now we just got to call up another fielder. Maybe we do call up Nick Prado. Nick Prado's, he's got a good bat and he can play first base. This is kind of a easy call-up decision for me. So we're going to call up Prado, and hopefully he can give us a little bit of a spark. Speaking of spark, we've picked up a game and a half on the Twins, and we've barely made it a week into September. So this is huge. We shut him out. Pepio, another one. He got the big 9-2 win there. 8-0 win here. That's what you like to see in September, is those acquisitions, those things you do, paying off in the biggest moments. That feels so good. McKenzie versus Jackson Jobe. Let's pay it off here, boys. We don't pay it off. And now we do have a tough series against Baltimore. We got Gallen, though, going up in the first one. Hopefully starts it off well for us. We lose 4-1. He does take the L. Can't blame him too much, I don't think. He did give up 4 runs there, so maybe it is a little bit on him. Riley Green with a solo shot is our only form of offense there. But we do bounce back. I was already starting to say it. We do bounce back with a 6-3 win with Chris Paddock. Bobby Herman. Oh, JoJo, don't blow it, buddy. Yeah, he doesn't blow it. He does get the save in that one. Bobby Herman gets another win. 204 strikeouts is crazy. Pepio again. Oh my God, another 1-4 loss, but we split with Baltimore, who, again, are a decent team. We lost a half game there on Minnesota. That's all right. I mean, it's going to be tough. We're going to come down to it, but we do have, the rest of the time, we don't play somebody over 500. I mean, okay, Pittsburgh is over 500 one game. By the time we play them, maybe they won't be. I don't know. All that matters is we need to win. Tristan McKenzie returns to Cleveland and gets the dub. Zach Gallen gets a tight one against Nick Allen. Daniel Espino faces Chris Paddock. We get absolutely smoked. Herman versus Bibby. We do win that one. And wow, our starters are getting decisions. So I guess if it doesn't happen early, it doesn't happen at all. But now we play Cincinnati, and we are 2.5 back of Minnesota. Oh my God. Or could we do it? I mean, guys, there's only 3, 6, 8. There's 8 games left, and we've got to pick up 2.5. I'm going to say that we're safe in the playoffs. We are 9 games up with 8 to play. So I think we're okay. We've made the playoffs. I would say we have clinched a postseason appearance, although it doesn't think we have. It's a combination of 7 wins and losses, 7 Twins wins and 7 losses for us. Makes the division out of reach. Here we go. Against Cincinnati, we win. Pepio gets another one. What is that, his 3rd win? That's his 3rd win in the month in 4 starts, I think. So he's 3-1 in the month of September. That's what we need to be. Cincinnati's wearing their City Connect jerseys. McKenzie. Oh, we do lose that one. Taking a look at the standings, we're now 3.5 back. Gallen gets the win. The Storm Chasers don't make the postseason with 81 wins. Wow, that's actually kind of surprising, I think. We do have 90 wins, which we had last year, so I guess expectations change, right? We had 90 wins last year. I'm not feeling like we're doing well. Yet here we are, potentially with more wins than we had last year. I think we had 91 last year. All we need to do is win 2 games. Maybe it's this series against Pittsburgh. I don't know. We are 3.5 back of the Twins still with, 5 to play? Is there any games in October? No. Okay, good. That's what I thought. But our elimination number is now 3. We cannot have the Twins win 3 times and us lose 3 times. There's a win. Julio Villalobos picks up his first major league win. Bobby Herman, oh, there's a loss, and that might do it. It's 2. Okay, it's 2. Oh, man, that would have been a great one to win. Oh, and you can see the Twins have really cooled off. We really have to win out now. We have to sweep the Pasquantino. Oh, my God. Our first basemen are going down like flies. What do we have now? We've got straight 3. Oh, my God. A straight 3 games back. We need to sweep the Oakland Athletics, and we need the Twins to get swept by Detroit. Come on, Detroit. I believe in you. Who gives a shit what Detroit does? Because we lost. We lose to Oakland there. We have 92 wins, and we have 93 wins. So we improve on last season, which is honestly funny because everything has felt like such a grind. It's felt tough. It's not felt good this entire episode, guys. It has really been a struggle for us, but we do end up having a better season than we did last year. Last year, we had 91 wins. This year, we have 93. We've yet to really dominate like I would have hoped. The Twins had a good season, and I want to get into the mid-90s there. 93 is not quite it for me. Like 95, 102 for the Marlins, who finished second in their division behind the Braves. The Phillies finally don't, I mean, they're going to make it the World Series anyway. We all know that, right? But the Marlins, the Braves, and the Dodgers all with 100 wins in the season. I don't know. Maybe we need to make a switch up here. We are rocking the boat quite a bit, to be fair. But let's take a look at the stats. And, we've got some league leaders and some award winners as well. So let's take a look at the league leaders. Zach Gallen is going to lead the MLB in innings pitched. Riley Green leads in doubles. Bobby Witt leads in triples. And Bobby Witt scored the most runs. Well, that kind of goes hand in hand with his speed, getting to third, getting to second, getting in scoring position, often. And then we bring him home. That is the important part. But Nolan Jones does lead the majors in batting average, closely followed by Riley Green, Mike Trout, Nolan Shanuel. That's a really good player right there. Did they draft him, or is he a real player? I have no idea. But Vlad Guerrero Jr. on the Red Sox is right up there. So weird to see that. I'm not going to go to the league leaders anymore. Let's go to the awards. Zach Gallen is going to win the Cy Young. So how crazy is that? Back-to-back Cy Young winners. The MVP goes to Mike Trout. We didn't really have anybody in here that was even close. 327 with 43 home runs. I considered a trade for Mike Trout, by the way. His contract for that long, though, I just kind of said no thank you. And there we go. Zach Gallen is the Cy Young. Could have been last year, but it was Bobby Herman, the rookie, that was awarded the Cy Young. Back-to-back Cy Young, and maybe, hey, we are the pitching dominant force. But Shane McClanahan, another great season from him. And then Tariq Skubal was killing it. Zach Gallen just had 20 wins. He had 28 decisions on the season. The batting title goes to Nolan Jones. Riley Green was close. Nolan Jones, back-to-back seasons. He just doesn't have the home runs right now. And oh my God, he is absolutely flying. $15 million a year is so worth it for this guy. His contact is great. His power, it's all right. I don't like to see it dropping off, but the rest of his game is just getting so well-rounded. Anybody reliever of the year? Hell, we're not going to have that one. Rookie of the year, don't have anybody this year, but it is Dana Seaver from the Minnesota Twins. Wow, the Twins, dude, they just find these dudes like Nolan Jones carries, and then I don't know. Hank Aaron Award goes to Mike Trout. 43 home runs is crazy. The Gold Glove for the pitcher, Brandon Williamson. I've always thought that the Gold Glove for the pitcher is just kind of weird. The catcher Gold Glove, Freddie Furman was in there with 1251 putouts. Wow. Okay, so he was close, but Alejandro Kirk, our freaking division, dude. I'm so sick of it. Tristan Casas gets the Gold Glove for first, so that trade looks pretty solid. Andres Jimenez, really good season from him with Cleveland. Jordan Diaz does well for the Oakland Athletics. I just kind of like to see them do well because their team still looks horrible, and we're in year 4 of this save game. Dansby Swanson wins I guess defense wins championships in this too, so Evan Carter in the outfield. Center field is Trent Grisham, and in right field is Jarren Duran. Just it's really good. Silver Slugger DH is Carlos Correa, Yainer Diaz, Vlad Guerrero. Okay, so nobody really from us. I mean, Bobby Witt's in there, 277. Let's take a look at our team because nobody's really there, despite. I think we should be there. That's why I'm a little bit surprised. I was going through because I was, maybe optimistic we'd have some individual performers. But speaking of individual performers, home runs, Gorman, Casas, Witt, Keith, and O'Neill all hitting 20 plus. Nobody getting into the 30s. Nolan Gorman was close. He's back up to 8. He's back. He's back, 353 at-bats. He's really turned the corner. He didn't play every day. He's now 26 with 8 potential, 89 overall. He's here to stay. Tristan Casas, a bummer to see him, get hurt. 289 batting average, OPS of 885. His best season. Obviously the home runs went back to where they were from last year. Was probably the outlier. The rest is probably about right. To see his power though against lefties grow, against righties not the greatest, but 3.8 WAR. He had the best WAR of his career. His runs created split the difference between his best 2 seasons in Boston. Very good to see that. Bobby Witt. Obviously, we know Bobby Witt doing Bobby Witt things. His batting average, we can pretty much put your money on it that he's going to have over 290 batting average next season. But his OPS did drop off drastically. Higher strikeouts, fewer walks than last year. RBIs were right about the same. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not maximizing Bobby Witt. He's still 26, but we've got plenty of time to figure it out. But I kind of want to, 8.2 WAR last year. He was crazy. But yeah, his runs created, another great season. Last year was probably his peak. We'll see, though. I mean, he's only 26. Colt Keith up to an 86, developing beautifully. The fielding is there, which is something we wanted to see because we knew he could hit, right? 844 OPS, that went up. His home runs almost doubled. RBIs did double. Strikeouts went up, but walks went up, so he was, more at bats, right? 100 more at bats, so that kind of stat is going to increase anyway. The fielding percentage, 958. Would like to see that get a little bit better. We know we're sacrificing stuff in the field with Colt Keith, but he is growing nicely there. Runs created of 86.5. That is phenomenal. You'll love to see that. Tyler O'Neill. Doing Tyler O'Neill things. Batting average was a little bit lower. OPS was a little bit lower, so this is probably ending his time as a Royal on a lower note, but at the end of the day, he's still doing well. Luis Arraez batted 284. I might want to move on from him too. I'm not. It's almost a bad thing of how good he is batting because he doesn't have speed and he doesn't have power. But they're gonna have him bat leadoff or bat him in the 3 hole. Like it just I don't know. And I feel like we could get something for him. I don't want to keep his $9 million around. Our budget is starting to get squeezed. So we're going to have to worry about that. Riley Green, 332. What a great 925. Riley Green, that trade was so worth it. He continued to have the same season, actually better. Didn't have as good of a slugging percentage, but on-base percentage went up. Batting average went up by 40 points. That is beautiful. Home runs significantly dropped, but he's back to his pre-peak total. And then let's take a look at the WAR. 5.0. Great season from him. Runs created 126, 125.8. I mean, guys, he's here to stay. That $15 million is so worth it. And he's only going to get better. He's 26. So he fits right in there with the Bobby Witt, Colt Keith, Nolan Gorman. Aren't they all? Yeah. Colt Keith's 25, Bobby Witt's 26, Casas is 27, Gorman's 26. Guys, we have a core. We just need to maximize it. And Freddie Furman, he's making $1.5 million, but again, he's just not there with the bat. His WAR is 2.8, so he's clearly, he's a Gold Glover potentially at the catcher position. And run created is just not there, though. So maybe we need more out of our catcher. Could be a position where we look to upgrade. We've got Blake Mitchell, too, the rookie here, 81 overall. Definitely has got a better bat than Freddie Furman, I believe. We'll take a look in a second. Jackson Merrill, good season from him. Nothing phenomenal. Vinny Pasquantino, a major down year for Vinny Pasquantino. We've seen him bat, 319, it's kind of slid down every season. So he is falling off. He did have quite a few fewer at-bats. Negative WAR, actually, and a 38 runs created is just not where you want to be. And maybe the trade for Tristan Casas took his shine away. Maybe he needs to be playing more. I don't know, but maybe a guy that we can look to move on from because we got Casas now. They're all in the same age range. He is 29, so he's 2 years older than Tristan Casas. So something to consider there. Tommy Edman batted 306. Hey, look at that. The best season of his career batting average-wise. And OPS 789. So the bat, it came around for Tommy Edman this season. 37 RBIs is not great. I guess fewer at-bats. He still had a great WAR, so I'm very satisfied with this. He's no longer our everyday center fielder. Oh, God, wait. Where did Harrison Alonso go? Did he get sent? Oh, no. Did they automatically send him down? Or is he hurt? Harrison Alonso, tell me? Oh, they sent him down. They called up. What? In what world is Nelson Velasquez up here? Why? Harrison Alonso, oh, God. 358 at-bats, 257. Terrible season. Just not good. Not a good season from him, but the kid is growing. He's 22. Negative WAR. Maybe it's better that he's down in the minors, but those stats just look too good. He's got great speed and stealing. The bat is there. He's super well-rounded. I think he's going to be a stud next season when he takes over for Tyler O'Neill there in left. So that's super upsetting that he got sent down. Player statistics. We'll go to the pitchers now. We'll stick with starting pitchers. ERA, Tristan McKenzie, 438. Paddock, 419. Lynch, 407. Herman, Pepio, and Gallen, though, sub 4. You love to see it. Gallen, 263. Again, back-to-back years, we have a Cy Young winner. Maybe we just need a anti-home run specialist. Maybe that's what we need right now. Maybe moving on from Chris Paddock is in the cards next season. Now, he was really good in the postseason, but back-to-back seasons of a +4 ERA, $15 million a season. His overall is dropping. He's 31. He's another guy that I may want to move on from. Most quality starts went to Zach Gallen. 26 quality starts in how many games started? Is it right next to it? Yeah, it is. Wow. 26 and 33. Bobby Herman, Tristan McKenzie, it was about half, right? And then Chris Paddock. Pepio did 7 in 19. That's sub 50% too. So again, not great, but I'd like to keep him around. He's arbitration eligible. He's 29, cheap, right? We'll see. But I definitely think Chris Paddock's days are limited. I don't care how he does in the postseason. I mean, if he doesn't allow a run in the postseason, then maybe he can stay. But honestly, he's one that I've identified. $15 million for this, not worth it. Tristan McKenzie, looking good. Bobby Herman, continuing to develop. Zach Gallen is great. Those three with Pepio. Find another guy. Maybe it's Julio Villalobos calling up the young guy. Maybe see what he can do. Or somebody in the system, but Chris Paddock's 2.8 WAR is fine, but it's not worth $15 million, and neither is Tristan McKenzie's. But we just signed him. I'd like to give him another year, another opportunity here. He's 29. He's got another couple years. We'll see. One thing I do want to see is the ERC. Yeah, Paddock actually had a better ERC and FIP than Tristan McKenzie, so neither of those signings seem to have worked out. Zach Gallen bounced back, right? So, I say bounce back. He was just terrible in the postseason. He had a great season both years, so Chris Paddock's probably got to go. Tristan McKenzie's going to stick around, I think. I don't really want to trade a guy that I just gave a 5-year, $17.4 million contract to. But I mean, maybe we have to. He's not even come close to his ERA or his pitching performance that he was in Cleveland. Maybe it's time for a new manager or a new pitching coach. I don't know. But take a look at the relief pitchers. Oh, that's a good sight to see. Nick Sandlin, sub 5. So considering how he started, he's done much better. Jojo Romero, great season for him. He's up to an 87, 41 saves, 8 blown saves. Don't like that, but I do like the fact that he's pitched so well. Jason Adam, brought him in. He did okay. None of our entire bullpen just was not good. I really think our bullpen was bad. So maybe I do need to take a look. Mariano Diaz did not pitch well. 78, he's growing. Great, but would like to see him do a little bit better. Jose Leclerc did pitch well, though. And you guys can see, like, the difference between Freddie Fermin and Blake Mitchell is very, very small at this point. It's really not much of a difference between the two. And Freddie Fermin's an 84, and I'm sure somebody's going to want him. We've got another year at $850,000 for Blake Mitchell, and maybe we can upgrade our catcher position. But I feel like getting rid of Chris Paddock or Tristan McKenzie, revamping the bullpen and upgrading catchers are things that I want to do right now. So that's that. But we will be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays in the wild card, and then a date with Minnesota awaits the winner of this 3-game series. But guys, that's all the time I have for this one. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all, free for all.